Okay, let's start now. Let's do the Kirtan quickly. Okay, so Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapatak Swami Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripapadaya Gaura Kardavadaya Hariramani Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati BhaktiVedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastaya Destarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, let's do the Kirtan. And you can, after Kirtan, we can do some breathing exercise. And then we can go into the Gita class. Okay. So you can, you continue to mute yourself and you can follow me from your end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so what we do a little bit of breathing exercise and then we can do some chanting. So if you already have chanting beads with you, please keep it ready. After we finish a breathing exercise and some Omkara mantra, we can practice that chanting with the beads. Okay. So wherever you are sitting, please make sure you sit comfortably and we can do some pranayam. And you can use this Prana Mudra. So like this, if you all can see. These two fingers, the last two fingers, if you can see. Oh, I don't know if you all can see. Okay, and you can put it on your knees, your leg. And if you are sitting on the chair, it's fine. You can still do this. If you're sitting on the floor, it's still fine. So wherever you're sitting, make sure you relax yourself and just focus on the breathing only. So we are going to do 5 counts of very normal basic breathing without putting any pressure on the mind. Just simple breathing. So just breathe in and out and focus only on that. Okay, next what we'll do is breathing with the counts. So we are gonna breathe in for 3 counts and hold the breath for 3 counts and breathe out for 3 counts. Okay, so that means you're counting because we are using multiple things here. We are focusing on multiple things like breathing. So we are breathing and counting and focusing on the breathing. So that will improve our focus on the mind. Because it's not that you're, sometimes we are multitasking, right? Especially with women, we multitask a lot. So what happens is it becomes too much at some stage, You're doing this, taking care of the child, checking the mobile, or sending an email, or phone on the phone, you're talking with someone. So many things. Sometimes that mind need peace. So that we can only bring when we try to relax like this. So your focus is now not on anything else except the breathing and the counting. Okay, so let's start now. So counting only up to 3. So breathing in for 3 counts, holding for 3 counts, and breathing out for 3 counts. So breathing in 1, 2, 3, holding 1, 2, 3, and breathing out 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's all we are doing, simple as that. So let's do this for about 5 times. Okay, so when you're doing this, make sure you keep your eyes closed and shoulders relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. Now we'll start. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. So I'm not going to count anymore because I want you to do it on your own, because sometimes I count 1 second behind your counting. I don't want to mess up with your breathing exercise. So let's all do it in a self-paced exercise for 5 times. Okay, so next what we'll do, another breathing exercise with alternate nostril breathing. Okay, so this is pranayama. So you can just use the thumb, and I'm not going to go too technical because there are certain fingers that we use, but let's just start with simply the thumb finger to hold the right nostril when you need it to, and with the right nostril, right nostril, thumb finger, and the left nostril you can use the third finger. I mean, which one is third finger? No, this is not third finger. Ring finger, I mean. Okay, I guess. So how we do this is you just inhale through the left nostril and then exhale through the right nostril. Okay, and then again inhale through the right nostril, so we are at the same nostril, and then exhale through the opposite nostril, and then again inhale through the same nostril, which is left, and then exhale through the right nostril. So this is what we are going to repeat for few times. Okay, so again sit relaxed manner, sit in a relaxed manner, sit comfortably, and shoulders relaxed. So take your fingers, the thumb and the ring finger ready. So we start with the left nostril breathing. Okay, so inhale through left nostril. That time you're actually blocking the right nostril. So inhale. Now you hold the left nostril and then release the right nostril and then blow out. So exhale through right nostril. And then inhale through right nostril. You have to hold it. Once you inhale, then you're holding it until you switch fingers. And then exhale through the left nostril. And then you're holding it again by pressing blocking the left nostril, sorry. And then inhaling. You can do this exercise very slowly. We don't have to rush, because the main intention of doing breathing exercise to calm our mind. So breath control automatically help us with the mind control and sense control. So as we practice every day, this will help us for the entire lifetime, but we have to practice it daily. Okay, so please continue doing this, inhaling and exhaling for a few more times. At any point you're not sure what we are doing, just ask me. If you're too shy to ask, just breathe in and breathe out normally. But you have to ask. Otherwise you can't learn, right? But there are so many type of pranayams, the exercise, breathing exercise. So I don't know many, so I'm only teaching you a little bit what I know. And there are a few more, but that's technical, so I don't want you to put pressure unless you already know, like Kapalbhati, for example. Please, by all means, practice it daily in the morning. So let's give a bit of exercise for the shoulders, just because we've been stiffening up ourselves. So just relax your shoulders by rotating it in the clockwise 5 times and anti-clockwise 5 times. So with your neck, make sure you're facing straight, because most of the time, including myself, we pin down the neck. That puts pressure on the neck and it pains. So we'll do a bit of exercise for the neck. So you turn your face, including your neck, to your right slowly, and as far as you can go back. So go as far as you can go back, and then here you stay for about 3-4 breaths, just normal breathing, or maybe couple. I don't think it will be very comfortable doing that. So come back to the center, and then go again to your left, maybe a couple of breaths. come back to the center and go upwards. And then come down. Okay. So that's a bit of neck exercise. And for the fingers, you can just do like this. I don't know if you can see. Like open and close, just relaxing. Just put it at the front of your body, and then open, close, just 5 times. Okay. Now what we do is a little bit of chanting for 5 minutes. Okay, all of you, please, if you have chanting beads, please take them, and then let's just chant for 5 minutes, or rest of the time, like 4:30 until 4:30. Okay. So if you don't know already, start with your first bead, not the head bead with the hair part on it. So you just start from the first one, and then you just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you just chant this for each bead and repeat it until we finish, maybe until 4:30. Okay, let's all start that now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So we stop there, but I encourage you to please finish the rest of the chanting rounds once you are done with the class. Now I'll share my screen. Let's see if I can do that. So we are starting chapter 3. Okay, so let's see an overview of Karma Yoga. So Karma means activity, Yoga means connecting. We already discussed it. It's connecting to the Supreme. So one may question, connecting what? Connecting from what to what? So connecting yourself to the Supreme Self. So that's the whole process of yoga. And there are variety of yoga. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So Karma Yoga is in the bottom rung of the ladder. So we say that the yoga is in a ladder. So there is every level that you go up and up. How you are starting with year 12, for example, year 12, and then you go for bachelor's and then master's and then PhD. something like that. But sometimes some people have so much qualifications, they might directly do bachelor's, or sometimes some do master's directly, or even PhD, like that. But materialistically, this is a crude example. Academically, one may not be able to do all that, like, without having prerequisite. But that's the speciality about bhakti yoga. Even you don't have any prerequisite, like qualifications or anything, one can still do bhakti yoga. That's why Krishna, even though he explains the different kinds of yoga in the yoga ladder, but he frequently would encourage Arjuna to follow bhakti yoga. And so part 1, the first 6 chapters we discussed already. There are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. So first 6 chapters are Karma Yoga. The last 6 chapters are Jnana Yoga. And the middle 6 chapters are Bhakti Yoga. We also discussed one example, how if there is a jewel box, there is a crest jewel in the inside, that is Bhakti Yoga. And the bottom part of the jewel box is Karma Yoga. And then the lid of the jewel box is Jnana Yoga, and the actual jewel that is protected in between is Bhakti Yoga. Okay, we discussed that analogy also in the past. So we discussed chapter 1 and 2 already. So chapter 1 was observing the armies in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and chapter 2 was contents of the Gita summarized. So chapter 2 covered Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, bit of Jnana Yoga, bit of Bhakti Yoga, everything. That's why it was called contents of the Gita summarized. So everything summarized in there. So Krishna, why he gave Bhagavad Gita? Because of course he wanted to. In 4th chapter we will study that, we will learn, Krishna will say to Arjuna that millions of years ago I spoke the same Bhagavad Gita to the sun god Vivashwan, and then over the time it just went past, it just got disappeared. So I have to revive that, correct? So I have to bring back Bhagavad Gita. So I'm choosing you, so I'm speaking to you. That way the Bhagavad Gita can be re-established again in the humanity, for the humanity. So Karma Yoga, there are in the chapter 3 Karma Yoga, there are 43 verses. Okay. So Arjuna actually confused because Krishna was telling, Krishna was suggesting that you do Bhutti Yoga, because he was talking about Siddha Pragya. Siddha Pragya means one who is fixed in the consciousness and who are intelligent, fixed. So they, they give up on all the agitation of the mind. They have the sense control. They have given up all the sense of possessiveness, ego. Why do you think we get angry sometimes? Because we are too possessed on something, or we become so attached to that, or we become egoistic. How come that person can talk about me like that? Or how come this person has got something that I do not have? So these kind of false ego that come and go within us. So what happens is, when we keep studying Bhagavad Gita, when we keep hearing, it will just dust our mind, our heart. It will purify. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. In Shikshastakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, who is none other than Krishna, who came 500 years ago to give us this Hare Nam, chanting of holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he says, you need to cleanse your heart through this Harinam. So what happens when we do that? We attain real peace, correct? Otherwise, we always worry about our bodily maintenance. We have the desires. Gudon of my mind is nothing but gudon of desires. So we need to get out of it. Because Siddha Pragya was spoken very greatly about by Krishna. Now they are very unagitated, Siddha Pragya. But for what happens to us, even if some, like for example, when I was small, when I ask, when I'm hungry, if there is not enough food, and mommy is going to make some food, but now I'm hungry, right? Now I don't have food. and I would become very angry, and I would just scream, oh, why can't you keep more food for me? Why do you do this? And how long does it take for you to cook? I can't wait, I'm hungry already. So these type of things. But child, it's okay, but I'm just giving you an example. I still do that sometimes, but I'm not sure if I do that anymore. But anyway, I do get angry sometimes, even now. So it is important that how we practice our mind. But the first stage is identifying that we have fault, because some people, what happens, they don't identify themselves as they are ordinary human being. They themselves think, I'm a very great person, I'm very great personality, I'm not cheap like this Sona Munu or something like that. I am very great. So when we think like that, we are not allowing others to give us any compliments, criticism, or anything. Of course, we accept compliments. We don't accept criticism. Correct? We get agitated. We get overreactive to that. But anyway, coming back, Arjuna was very confused because from the conversation he had with Krishna in second chapter. So Arjuna's confusion was whether to do karma yoga or jnana yoga, whether I should renunciate everything or do work, because uh, the verdict is we need what consciousness you have. That is what it is. What intention you have. It's not that you're a great sage, but we have a cheap and dirty mindset. Then what is the point? Under the you know under the shelter of being a sage, but or covering a bodily covering, you dress up as like a sage, but your behavior is like very nasty. Then it's not good, obviously, correct? But there is a Prabhupada often says it's better to be the street sweeper with good consciousness than a great sage in Himalayas or something like that. He says something along the line. He gives an analogy or example. Okay, 3.1 Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna Uvacha Nyayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhi Janardana Tatkim Karmani Gore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava. Arjuna said, "Oh Janardana, O Kesava, why do you want to engage me in the ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruity work." So, whether you recommended, Krishna, you recommended Buddhi Yoga. So, Krishna recommended Buddhi Yoga, that is Krishna consciousness. See, Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, same, because Buddhi means intelligence. You're using your intelligence means definitely you would follow Krishna consciousness, because that is the higher superior is highermost topmost path, right? Because why? That's because Krishna himself says that he is supreme God, and so many other great personalities also accept that Krishna is a supreme God, and he himself spoke Bhagavad Gita. In that he says Bhakti Yoga is the topmost, and Bhakti Yoga can be performed only by people who are with the right set of intelligence, correct? Because if you have intelligence only for performing academical duties, but you do not have intelligence to understand what is body, what is soul, and how you are connected with the super soul, and how you are related with the material nature, and the supreme lord, then what is the point of earning so much money and earning so much qualifications, but you don't know the basic philosophy, basic Sankhya Yoga? Then it is waste only. So Buddhi Yoga is also referred to Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna recommended Buddhi Yoga, and Arjuna is asking, what should I do? Should I do Karma Yoga or what? Because I'm confused. So karma means what? It could mean action or reaction for an action. So sometimes we say, oh, it's my bad karma. Oh, this is my karma. Why would we say that? There are two meanings. It depends on what context you use. So karma is sometimes referred to as activity, which is true. So this is Kshatriya karma is what? Kshatriya duty is what? So that type of karma, or just doing any activity is karma only. Eating is a karma, like that. And there is another meaning is you have done some activity previously and there is a reaction to it, you are reaping. That is also karma. This is my karma means that is also reaction. That is reaction karma. Okay. Reaction for an action. Okay. So here why Janardana means one who is the object of entreaty for those desiring their ultimate benefit. Keshava refers to the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is the source and controller of both Brahma and Shiva. Arjuna requested Krishna, whose instructions cannot be transgressed even by Brahma and Shiva, to clearly tell him what is most beneficial. In response to Arjuna's question whether to work or renounce work, Krishna will now describe Nishkama Karma Yoga, working with knowledge and detachment. Before that, he points out the defects in Arjuna's desire to renounce his prescribed duty to fight. See, sometimes what we think is, oh, this material world is too materialistic. I'm not happy here. I just wanted to renounce everything and I wanted to go to a secluded place and simply meditate and just get liberated that way. Sometimes we prematurely think like that. So Arjuna also mentioned in this previous chapter, you know what, Krishna, I am done with this. I can't do this ghastly warfare. It's too much for my consciousness. So I better go and do live in the forest and live by begging. Because if you go to forest, you think you will become you'll become a rich man. No, of course not. In the forest, what do? You eat just fruits and leaves and kind of berries. That's all. You don't get much. And otherwise, you come to the town and get some alms. You beg alms and get some food from the grahastas and then eat only that what you get. If you don't get anything, then you stay hungry. So these are the things that one renounced person will go through naturally, correct? But these days, if they are frauds, they might do some cheating. That's different story. We are not talking about that. But those days they're very strict. They followed perfectly. So Arjuna, as you can see, he is from royal family. He is not a cheap person. He was culturally civilized and Vedically taught everything. So he knows what he's talking about. But still, Krishna was chastising. He will in the coming verses, right? So here, Arjuna is continuing. Vimasrinaiva vakyena buddhim mohayesha me tadekam vada nishchaya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Translation. Vallabha, one second. Please come here, Vallabha. Vallabha Saran, come here, turn on the switch here. Did you not turn on the laptop switch, baby? You just connected, but you didn't turn it on. Okay. I'm gonna lose the power soon.
I did it.
Now?
Yes. It's the switch. The off switch.
No, it's not switched on.
Look! Let's face up.
Sorry, one second. I'll check my battery.
First, look face up.
Oh my god. Then why is this not working? Can you please remove it?
What?
Remove that I might go somewhere else and sit.
I did it.
It's working, I suppose. Sorry guys, I'm just fixing my laptop. Okay, so translation. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Arjuna is so confused. What should I do? What I'm supposed to do? You said renounce work, and then also you said do some work. What is that I should do? This is why we need guru, right? I tell you this many times. Whenever we are in confused state, we need a mentor, we need a counselor. But who is that? How do we choose? Someone who follows what they are saying, someone who is spiritually stable, not like one who is able to follow the spirituality only when the times is very suitable, comfortable, when they are happy, everything goes well. But when things go down, they don't have time for spirituality because they are so much in distress, and they don't have time for all of those because they need peace of mind, which they believe they will get out, without doing spirituality. But how do you get spirituality? How do you get peace of mind without spirituality? It is not possible. Only through spirituality we will get the peace of mind and happiness. And the spirituality also many levels, with the correct consciousness, correct intention, and the right spiritual path we need to follow. Even following Jnana Yoga is also spiritual path, but that is not complete. We discussed this already. So the complete path is until or unless we go to the far level of Bhakti Yoga, whatever the stages you are in, however you may be advanced, whether Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. In Ashtanga Yoga, what happens? They get Siddhic powers. The Siddhic powers mean, I told you, right? They can walk on the water, they can get an apple from different states and countries by sitting at one place. So they do lots of magic things, right? And then what else they do? Yeah, they produce lingam, something like that. They can, the Siddhic powers, they can do, what they wanted to do depending on what kind of austerity they performed. Yes, definitely they did austerity to achieve that goal. But what happens is they get misdirected and started to make money out of those type of siddhis. That's not all. That is also not correct. So when we have this confusion, perplexion in our life, we need to approach. Say Bhagavad Gita. If we study on our own, we will not understand. So we need to have bhakti. But initially, we don't develop that bhakti, right? We don't develop love for Krishna. So that's why we need to engage with someone who is in love with Krishna. So we need to engage ourselves in the association of people who are like-minded. Like we want to achieve Krishna, so someone is already trying to achieve Krishna, so they have gone more steps ahead. Then we should follow their path. It's not like they make their own. They manufacture their own opinion commentaries and give you this philosophy, that philosophy. No, so they follow what exactly spoken by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, we will not get anywhere. Like I gave this example also. So blind man following another blind man will not reach the destination. They only fall into the ditch. So next verse is third verse. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokeshmin Dvivida Nishta Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Shankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Someone please read the translation.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize this truth. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional.
Okay. So Krishna here is saying, oh, sinless Arjuna. Why sinless Arjuna? That is why he was qualified to hear Bhagavad Gita, right? If we are very sinful, we won't be able to hear Bhagavad Gita. Even if we hear, we don't appreciate or understand. But now we all must acknowledge the fact that we are all so fortunate we are hearing Bhagavad Gita. That means we definitely or somehow for sinless. Even though definitely we still have sins, we understand. Not we can't compare ourselves with Arjuna, but nevertheless we are still fortunate as fortunate as Arjuna, because he heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, and we are also hearing Bhagavad Gita from Krishna only. No other personalities we are hearing from. Correct? Same information we are reading from this Bhagavad Gita as it is, or hearing from the same followers of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, so two kinds of uh, procedures the Lord explained in chapter 3, chapter 2, in second chapter 39th verse. In the purport, it says Lord explained two kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Bhutti Yoga. In this verse, Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or analytical study of nature of spirit and matter, is the subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. Okay. Other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as it is explained in the 61st verse of second chapter. So, when you are working in Krishna consciousness, that means what? Whatever you're doing, your consciousness with Krishna. So, you follow this Krishna consciousness by remembering Krishna, hearing about Krishna, trying to follow Bhagavad Gita, whatever the teachings of Bhagavad Gita you're trying to follow. When we do that, what happens is we have this bondage. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, correct? So, Bhagavad Gita, this was said more than 5,000 years ago. So, good karma, subha karma, or ashubha karma, depending on what type of karma you did, there is a reaction. So, when you have to enjoy or suffer your reaction, you need to be in what particular position, you get that. But how do I get rid of this? How do I get out of this bondage? Because it's too much. So I get this reaction. I don't want to suffer. Sometimes, when you understand the proper philosophy, then you will say, I don't want to enjoy either. Because if you want to enjoy, means you need to take birth, you need to come in a human form or particular form where you can enjoy. Sometimes you need to take birth even in a higher planets, higher lokas, and you have to take birth there and still suffer. You will see, because you have so much of pious credit. Say, for example, you have to go to Swargaloka to enjoy. Yes, you went there, enjoyed, but there is still suffering. Birth, old age, disease, and death still there. You can't avoid that. These are permanent problems, correct? And Adi Atmiga, Adi Baudiga, Adi Deviga. That means the problems caused by our own body and mind, problems caused by someone other, like someone else or other living entities, then problems caused by Adi Deviga means natural calamities, Devas. So when these type of things are permanent problems, whether I experience that suffering now or 10 years later, there is guaranteed, suffering is guaranteed. Okay, because this world is dukkalayam ashashwadam. Chapter 8, Krishna says in 15th verse, this is definitely there. But how do I avoid this bondage? Because I want to do good. Because I'm a good person, I want to do good to others. I want others to be happy. But just because I did good things, I am getting good things. For that, I need to take birth again. No, I don't want that. Because this life, sometimes, for example, you have so much pious credit, and the reaction for that is your fruit is you have to enjoy for 100 years of celestial life. That means you are an earth planet, you can't have celestial life. Is like one day here is, I think, 6 months. I mean, one day in celestial planet is 6 months or 1 year here in earth planet. That means 100 years there means very much long time, correct? 100 years means 365 times 100 and times 6 months or 1 year, like that. You can imagine how many, so many years you have to live. In those years, there are some other suffering also will come. It's not that you always will enjoy. There will be suffering also. So how do I do this? For that, Krishna consciousness important. Bhakti yoga or Buddhi yoga is recommended. Yes, some people are inclined to do Sankhya yoga. Some people wanted to do Karma yoga, but best is Bhakti yoga. But Karma yoga has advantage because jnanis, they might not come into Krishna consciousness, but the Karma yoga easily they can come because keeping Krishna in the center is the main thing. For Karma Yoga means for you and I, we go to office, work every day, cook and do things at home, cleaning. But when we have Krishna at home, keeping him in the center, whatever the food cooked, offered to him, and then eat that prasadam, what happened? The sin is gone because the food is prepared today has come from somewhere else, from the farm, then the transport, and then the supermarket and the car. and your home. There was a whole heap of steps involved, lot of stages it went past. Every time there is some suffering to some living entities in that process, correct? That's why we accumulate sins, because we have made that living entity suffer, because we got that one plate of prasadam. Or now that is, let's for example say it's not prasadam yet, it's just a plate of food. Chapter 3 we will study about that also. Okay, Krishna will say that the food that you eat without offering to me, you are verily eating sins. Krishna will say that in this chapter 3. Okay, you will study that. So, so all this process that had taken for milk or ghee or whatever that we are eating, one plate of food, this has passed these many stages. That means what happened is we are accumulating the sin and eating it. Because we are eating it, this many stages passed. Correct? Doesn't mean we can fast and just not eat and stop eating. No, it's not like that. Simply offer that food to Krishna. All the sins accumulated will be gone. Even you are doing favor not only for yourself or your family, because you offered food and feeding family, and you're eating yourself also. Not only good for your all, but also you're doing good for all the living entities involved in the process, because now you offered that plate of food to Krishna. Now entire whatever that was connected with other parts, one banana means entire the plant, the banana plant became liberated, like that. So you are actually directly or indirectly you're helping other living entities to be liberated from the bondage of karma. Because every action there is a reaction. Get out of reaction, we need to definitely start bhakti yoga. It's never too late. Okay, I'll stop here. Please ask any questions if you have, or any feedback, because I don't want you all to be very less interactive or no interactive. Okay, because I know I'm not allowing or giving you opportunity, but from next week we will do that more interactively. But please ask anything or tell me if you have any comments or feedback.
I have one doubt. Uh, like we usually what we do is we cook food and we take some out in a plate and then we offer that to to Krishna and then we eat the remaining. So is it like a part of that is supposed to be offered to him, and does it make the remaining food, or are we supposed to like offer everything that we're cooking?
Yes, how it works is you offer food in a plate. Say, for example, you have a new plate for him, cups and tumbler, glass of water, everything. Like how you serve a guest, like that you serve like a bit of rice in one cup, bit of dal in one cup, or roti or sabzi, whatever you have, water in a plate nicely, and put tulsi leaves if you have. If you don't have
Yeah.
tulsi leaf, you can put dried tulsi leaves, which I have plenty. If you want, I can give you some. So like little bit of tulsi leaves in each dish, and then offer to Krishna and offer prayers. Like there is a particular prayer, but to start with, just chant Hare Krishna 3 times, Maha Mantra, and then ask with the humility that please accept the food, Krishna. Something like that, just innocently, naturally, you can ask with love, and he will eat. Chapter 9, he says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. If you offer with love and devotion, he'll accept everything. Once you offered, leave it for like 5 minutes or whatever, like 5-6 minutes, and then you do other stuff, preparing something like maybe washing dishes or something like that, or chant one round. That's better, that's best actually. You chant one round. By the time you finish the round, Krishna will also would have finished his eating, and then he eats through eyes. It's not like us, we have to eat with hands and through mouth, and he eats through eyes. So no problem. So now the food becomes sanctified. You do what you do. Take the cup of food that you offered, mix it with the rice to rice, dal to dal, roti to roti. I had a friend of mine. What she did, she asked because she was new, and we did some yagya in her home. And she asked, "Should I mix it?" Yes, yes, mix it. Then she mixed quinoa, beetroot salad, everything in one go, and something else also. And then I came and asked why this is like this, and she said, "You only told me to mix." Oh, I didn't mean that. You mix it separately, not everything together. It will become like some other prasadam. So yeah, you don't mix everything, but you just mix it separately. Now the entire pot of food that you cooked, now sanctified, now became prasadam, then you serve. And we do not, in bhakti yoga, we do not eat onion garlic, because onion and garlic are not helping us in the path of spirituality. It is mode it is the foods are in the mode of ignorance, we avoid, because we wanted to elevate ourselves from mode of ignorance to mode of goodness, and then mode of pure goodness. But if we start or if we continue to eat the food that are already in the mode of goodness, sorry, ignorance, then how do we expect ourselves to improve our modes, material modes, correct? So we try to avoid those things, okay? Onion, garlic, or mushroom, things like that. And if you are confused, oh, I can't give up on my onion, garlic because I love to eat that and all, it's okay. So whatever the food you made without onion, garlic, you offer to him. So see, Krishna is giving you every grain of food in your plate, and every grain or granule in the roof that you have. So Krishna is giving everything. Whether I am an atheist or I am a theist or I am a bhakta, he is giving everything to everybody depending on what they deserve. But for bhaktas, he gives them more than what they deserve. I'm an example. He gives me more than I deserve. Definitely, I don't deserve anything. I don't even deserve sitting here talking to you all. I'm not qualified, first of all. But He is merciful because I have this desire. I wanted to share this knowledge. So He is allowing me. Okay, until He allows me, I am happy to continue like that. So you just follow in a gradual way. Don't don't think, oh, I'm missing this, that. Just add Krishna. You don't need to remove anything. Just keep whatever you're doing and continue to chant. Then you will automatically realize. And today I had a friend came over and she was saying, naturally, after she started worshipping Radha Krishna, she said, naturally I gave up onion garlic. I didn't even feel like I was missing out on something. So like that, and for me also, coffee tea lover I am, but naturally I, gave up. So you use alternatives. If you want to know alternatives, let me know. I have so many ways that I learned from other seniors, so I can share with you, all of you. So yeah,
Okay.
this is how we do.
Sure.
Did
Okay.
it answer your question, Prashi?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone else? Okay. So we stop here. Thank you everyone for joining today. So hopefully